House there. He surveyed some cars. It was happening as, Americans' 401k accounts were facing some struggles because of this tariff war happening right now. Was that an appropriate thing for the president to do there? Was it sensitive to the moment that we're in?
The president didn't mention that he's a longtime critic of electric cars and the federal tax incentives to boost sales. In a Christmas Day message months ago, he wrote of electric car lunacy and may they rot in hell. Oh, that's gotta hurt!
All right, listen, we've all come to expect a flash in the pan on Fox, the odd dose of truth from a reporter.
I actually stopped looking at the market. I've been watching Silence of the Lambs. Yes, sir, you too. I've been watching Silence of the Lambs because it's less scary for me than looking at the stock market.
Slight pushback on unsubstantiated claims.
This is a White House that came in trying to get federal workers to retire by the hundreds of thousands. But it's tough to make the argument that you should retire if your retirement accounts are getting throttled, which is what is happening right now.
And of course, the frequent, often solemn voice of Sanity Jessica Tarlov.
I'm just saying, if you don't believe in due process anymore, then be honest about it, because that's what's going on here.
The only due process I believe in is the legal way to enter this country.
But claiming asylum is legal.
Yeah, well, only if you do the legal process.
But they tried, and then they're being disappeared from their court hearing.
But after Trump used the White House lawn as basically a car lot to flaunt Elon's new Tesla, it appears Fox News got a different memo on how they should cover it. Not just one host, by the way, but several.
Now, I see why the ethics folks would be upset, given Musk's status as budget cutter in chief, and Tesla stock has been tanking for 3 months, costing him $140 billion. But it's hardly a coincidence, hardly breaking news, that Donald Trump makes up his own rules.
First, I want to direct you to this interview in which Fox News correspondent Jackie Heinrich grilled Ohio's newest Republican senator over whether Donald Trump's White House Tesla photo op was an appropriate use of the president's time. Bernie Moreno, a car dealership mogul who defeated former Senator Sherrod Brown, was asked point blank whether he thought this was sensitive to the moment. And of course, that moment being as stocks take a nosedive and Americans are searching for their 401ks.
Those cars were once made in Ohio, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Indiana. We need to bring that manufacturing back. I love Rand. I think he's a great guy on fiscal issues, but he's dead wrong on where the auto industry sits. The UAW is firmly behind tariffs. The auto industry understands that localizing production is important. These are the jobs that make communities thrive. These are good, high-paying jobs. We need them in the Midwest.
Well, there are some warning signs that boost in American production might not happen at all. S&P Global is forecasting a massive production halt for the auto industry, with the probability of an extended disruption at 50%. It reads, with tariffs now imposed on Canada and Mexico, we expect significant disruption in the region. S&P Global Mobility sees potential for North American production to drop by up to 20,000 units per day within a week. We now expect that the tariff posture, messaging, and coverage through 2025 will be erratic, placing automakers and suppliers mid or long-term vehicle and facility planning in virtual gridlock. That does not sound like a manufacturing boom. Even Tesla has apparently sent a letter to the trade representative asking to examine the president's policies, saying it could harm Tesla. It reads, Tesla encourages USTR to consider the downstream impacts. Even with aggressive localization of the supply chain, certain parts and components are difficult or impossible to source in the United States. And that's Elon Musk's company. Is the president going to listen to Elon Musk?
And following suit with this coverage, several other Fox News hosts used their allotted time to call into question Trump's decision to basically read from a Tesla sales pitch at the White House. This coming after he previously lambasted anyone for embracing electric vehicles, because Trump and hypocrisy go hand in hand, like Trump's White House guests and restraining orders.
And what is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment. Uncertainty about work ahead.
Few moments. There has never, I mean never, been a commercial like this one. Elon Musk brought a Tesla fleet, 5 cars and all, to the south lawn of the White House, and President Trump checked it out.
Really well.
president was clearly impressed, and the second most powerful man in government made the sale.
I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets. And number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life to doing this. And I think he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people.
The president didn't mention that he's a longtime critic of electric cars and the federal tax incentives to boost sales. In a Christmas Day message months ago, he wrote of electric car lunacy and may they rot in hell. Now, Musk is a genius, and I wouldn't be so cynical as to suggest that a New York Times report that Musk wants to donate $100 million to super PACs controlled by Trump had anything to do with the Tesla event. Commentators have had plenty to say about the White House commercial.
It's pretty common for the President of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products, and companies that are, employing Americans. It's extremely common.
Democrats are mad that Trump's promoting EVs. It's what Biden did for 4 years.
Others were far more critical.
You have Donald Trump up here doing a infomercial, trying to raise money and save a company for the richest man in the world, while people's 401ks are crashing before their eyes.
Donald Trump did something illegal today, and he did it in the White House driveway.
Now, I see why the ethics folks would be upset, given Musk's status as budget cutter in chief, and Tesla stock has been tanking for 3 months, costing him $140 billion.
And his second term in the White House has accelerated the sense of personal grift that permeated Washington throughout his first term. Using the White House lawn to advertise the personal business of a man who spent $250 million to help get him elected is only the latest example. I mean, do we all remember when the Trump family came out with the meme coin that was launched just before his inauguration?
So while we've been sitting here, Bloomberg has just broken the news that the Trump family's crypto company has been in discussions with Binance on doing business, including possibly creating a new stable coin, exactly what we're debating right now. And for those of you who don't remember, Binance pleaded guilty to criminal charges for, quote, willful failures that allowed money to flow to terrorists, cyber criminals, and child abusers through its platform. We have the chance to fix this right here in this committee. And literally just an hour ago, every Republican voted against an amendment to do exactly that. We should be standing up to this kind of naked corruption, not trying to figure out how to build a super highway so it can take off even faster, bigger, and better.
Or what about Trump media? I mean, he has notoriously used his position to enrich himself, his family members, and now his co-president. I just wasn't expecting Fox News to call it to attention.
I mean, John F. Kennedy was offered citizenship by the people of Ireland because they loved him so much, and he refused to take it, saying that even though it didn't violate the letter of the Emoluments Clause, it violated the spirit of the Emoluments Clause. And Donald Trump converted the presidency into an instrument for self-enrichment. He raked in millions of dollars from the most corrupt governments on earth, who came in with specific favors that we document in our report that they got from Donald Trump. I beseech my colleagues, I will read any book, any magazine, any speech you've given that you want me to read. Read this report and come back and tell me if you think Donald Trump did the right thing in converting the White House into a for-profit operation. No other president in American history has come anywhere close. And you ask why he's so determined to stay in office that he would unleash violence against his own vice president, the brother of your colleague, of our colleague. Why would he do that? It's because it was a money-making operation, and it was a great business grift for a guy who went bankrupt several times. And yet, out of some misguided partisan loyalty, you're going to stick with him. I don't even know why you stick with him. He was a Democrat longer than he was a Republican. He wanted to run for president on the Reform Party. You guys have been taken over by an absolute con man. And now you're acting like members of a religious cult who don't even remember how you got in the first place. We say return the profits, Donald Trump, $7.8 million. I've got a letter, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to share with you telling Donald Trump to return these $7.8 million. It's a small fraction of what he raked in. We want to know about the other 2 years in office. We want to know about the other businesses, not just those 4 that we were able to get information on. And we want to know about every country on earth, not just the 20 autocracies and dictatorships that we found. This is our government. This is our Constitution. And we're going to stand up for it against Donald Trump and anybody who follows him to the path of oblivion. Abraham Lincoln started your party as a third party to replace the Whigs because they wouldn't take a moral stand against slavery.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.